from the co-founder of EnKash. EnKash is the first and smartest spend management platform in Asia. Co-founded in 2018 by Hemant. नहीं यार यही ठीक है, काफ़ी है। नुक्कड़ पे जब दम मारते हैं तो ऐसे बैठते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। अरे ये अनकॉन्फिडेंस है, चलेगा, तुमको कोई नहीं डांटेगा, डोंट वरी, डर रहा है वो डांटेगा, राइट? This is the funny thing with innovation. You try to do something very interesting like an unconference, and then there are people who have always been grown up. You know, ऐसे ही करना, अरे speaker बेचारा टेबल पे बैठा, उसको चैन दो, right? So yeah, I think that's where innovation struggles in our country. And the other friend who's from the other end of the spectrum, a different decade from both of us, is my friend Jitendra Dhaka. Where is Jitendra? हाँ यार, हाँ Jitendra आ जाओ यार, ताली बजाओ यार. Jitendra is the co-founder and CEO of Sathi, one of India's largest and fastest growing financial marketplace. Wonderful. क्या हो गया? You lost your balls? ऐसे hey, गलत नहीं सोचने का. Okay, so because you know a lot of sessions have been about Gyan and a little bit about what they did themselves. We thought we will make this a little bit more about the journey of them as an entrepreneur, because in the audience I see people at different levels, and there are very interesting journeys that these gentlemen have had. So let's start off with a 1-minute elevator pitch of your company. Let me put you in the spotlight. So let's put the spotlight on you, Jitendra. 1-minute elevator pitch of what your company does.
Hi guys. Bank Sathi, we are helping consumers to get the right financial products, and currently we are targeting the 50 crore users which are confused to get the right financial products, either credit cards, loan, insurance, bank accounts and demat accounts.
Okay. Hemant, yes.
Before that, I think, you have to explain to the audience about the startup in Antarctica. I think, that is the question which we started, right?
Right now, the next 30 minutes is all about you guys, not me. Yeah.
Okay, great. Quick introduction about EnKash. EnKash is a pioneer and a category creator in India in B2B space, specifically B2B payment space. We are Asia's first spend management platform, and by spend management, I didn't mean only an expense management. We cater to businesses to manage their accounts payable, receivables, expense management, corporate cards, reward programs, vouchers and everything on one platform. So we provide a cloud-based platform to businesses who then can transact with other businesses and make their payments swiftly.
Wonderful. So let's get kick-started. You both are like the sons of the soil, right? You both are Rajasthanis. One is from Jodhpur and the other one is from Jaipur, right? What do you think, Jitendra, of your decision to move from Jaipur to Bangalore? Because, I come from a very small town called Coimbatore, and this is always a question, कि यार ये शहर में कुछ नहीं खा होगा यार, तुम Bangalore जाओ, Chennai जाओ, right? And I'm sure many of you would have probably heard the same thing about Jaipur as well. So, why did you take the decision, and what would you want to tell them if they have to think of the same decision?
Why I got to Bangalore? This is an interesting question, and क्यों गए थे इसके पीछे, there are a lot of things, but जाना चाहिए या नहीं जाना चाहिए, that definitely I will tell you. So the important point, I was in Jaipur from 13 to 21. 8 साल से इधर ही काम कर रहे थे. अच्छा, सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा था. Then just when we came in this startup ecosystem, then there is a big unicorn founder. He told me बड़ा करना है तो बेंगलोर आ जाओ, right? तो रात को मेरे को लगा कि यार ऐसा क्यों बोला किसी ने कि बड़ा करना है तो बेंगलोर आ जाओ. देन क्या जाके देखते हैं कि क्या होता है एक्चुअल में वहाँ पर. सो आई शिफ्टेड टू बेंगलोर इन नेक्स्ट 7 days ओनली. सो दिस इज द ओनली रीजन. अदरवाइज वहाँ जाके ऐसा कुछ मिला नहीं है कि बेंगलोर में होता, राजस्थान में नहीं होता. इवन द इकोसिस्टम ऑफ स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम इज मच बेटर इन राजस्थान, विच आई फील आफ्टर 2 years.
So now you are from Bangalore, the Silicon Valley, or like Mahavir said, the Israel of India, so to say. You work out of Delhi. What are your thoughts? Delhi दूर नहीं है या दिल्ली दूर है?
No, I think, by the way, Jaipur is my hometown, and I am actually from Ganganagar. which is north of Rajasthan. I left. My entire schooling has been in Jaipur, but I left Jaipur in post schooling, and best part was that I wanted to keep in touch with Jaipur, so I decided to station at Gurgaon, and that is where it's going on. I don't think so there is a challenge between Jaipur and Gurgaon. Jaipur is growing very fast. Since I am born here, but still I have to use Google Maps now in Jaipur. So you can kind of understand the kind of growth Jaipur has done. Every 6 months there is a new building which is there in Jaipur. So it's amazing infrastructure, amazing growth which is happening. And thanks to events like this, right? I mean, it is actually catering to startup ecosystem, strengthening the startup ecosystem.
गर्लफ्रेंड के घर ढूंढते भी मैप लगता है या वो मिल जाता है?
अभी वो कहीं और है तो पता नहीं.
एक ही है. Okay. So we were having a conversation in the morning, Hemant, this question is to you, and you said, one of the common things for many of us here is we don't come from that branded IIM, IIT kind of a background, and hence we have to hustle more as entrepreneurs. So how did that hustling happen for you?
No, so I categorically said because obviously the advantage of alumni network is there, right? I mean, when we are talking about 2005 and 2010, right? I mean, initially the startup concept was driven by majority of IITs and IIMs guys, and majority of investor community is also full of IIT and IIM people, right? Essentially, so it's a network advantage. Otherwise, if you talk about skill set with respect to any startup founder, I don't think so. Any startup founder is below any other startup founder. It's all matter of which business you are running, which skills, which are the skills you are actually harnessing, and then whether you are making your business profitable. Do you have that kind of a vision to make the business profitable? That is what all matters, right? And I don't think so. My comment was related to that. One is below other, but it was more towards getting an advantage of network, which is already there.
Absolutely. So just to clarify, that's not about comparing your institution with others, but the idea was to say that there they have the network of the alumni. If we have not come from one of those institutes, we build networks, and that is where I invite all of you to become a part of TiE Rajasthan. Shinu, please note. Okay. This one is to you, Jitendra. Why did you choose your house in that specific locality or that specific colony? Tell us that story.
Yeah. So
and this is for all of you entrepreneurs who want to learn how to hustle. Okay, go ahead.
So again, this point came on the Bangalore, shifting from the.
नहीं हिंदी में बताओ ये कहानी तब मजा आएगा. हिंदी में बताओ ये कहानी तब मजा.
तो ये बात है मई 21 की, जब किसी एक फाउंडर से मिला, उन्होंने बोला कि यार बेंगलोर आ जाओगे तो बड़ा बन सकता है. तो अगेन जब लाइफ में लाइक बेसिकली आई एम फ्रॉम द फार्मर बैकग्राउंड. मेरे फादर खेती करते हैं अभी भी स्टिल. बट द पॉइंट कि यार लाइफ में ना बड़ा करना है, तो बड़ा करना है तो लाइक जब व्हेन आई वाज मूविंग फ्रॉम द जयपुर, तो जयपुर से जाके बेंगलोर में जा ही रहे हैं, तो व्हाट बिग वी कैन डू. तो सबसे पहला पॉइंट था कि यार क्रेड के बगल में ऑफिस लेना है. लाइक कुणाल शाह से काफ़ी आई वाज मच इम्प्रेस्ड बाय कुणाल शाह. ही इज इन्वेस्टेड इन आवर फर्स्ट राउंड. तो एक था कि क्रेड के बगल में ऑफिस लेना है, और दूसरा पॉइंट था कि यार वहाँ रहना जहाँ पर मेजॉरिटी ऑफ इन्वेस्टर्स, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ गुड फाउंडर्स आर लिविंग इन दैट सोसाइटी. सो आई टुक प्लेट इन दैट सोसाइटी वेयर ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द लाइक पार्टनर्स, मैनेजिंग पार्टनर्स आर लिविंग इन दैट सोसाइटी. सो बस बड़ा करना था और बड़ा सोचना था. दैट्स व्हाई आई टुक दिस डिसीजन.
राइट. मतलब उठा के फेंको एलिवेटर पिच, रोज उसके साथ एलिवेटर में जाओगे तो पिच करते रहो.
No, I think
yes. Just I want to tell you about a benefit. So बहुत सारे पार्टनर्स हैं या इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, फाउंडर्स हैं, तो वहाँ पर लाइक जिम में मिल जाते हैं, वॉक करते टाइम मिल जाते हैं, आपको गेम के टाइम पे मिल जाते हैं. तो एनी टाइम यू कैन से कि आज ये नया हो गया, आज ये नया हो गया, आज ये नया हो गया, तो आपको सेल्स करना ईजी हो जाता है आपके लिए.
You were saying something?
No, I was actually saying, the learning of this is that, you need to have a mentor who can actually suggest things to you, right? And probably you are fortunate enough to have a couple of mentors who gave you the real gyan and where to go and how to do it, right?
Wonderful. One more opportunity to market TIE. TIE is all about mentoring and mentorship. At the core of our network itself is about mentorship. So become a member of TIE. Okay. This one to you, Hemant. Okay. You both operate in the banking industry, right? These banks are like that. बड़े-बड़े हाथी इनको हिलाना बहुत आसान नहीं है. And here you are someone with a new innovative product that will change the world. How do you convince these banks to change along with you?
So very honestly, when you are starting up, it's very, very kind of, difficult to convince any bank. Essentially, the reason is that, you are very new to the ecosystem. They have to impress their bosses as well, right? I mean, there is a hierarchy within the bank if you have to, implement certain project. But we were kind of, fortunate enough to have gray hairs on our head. So, we were working in different banks and we were having, those kind of relationships. So to touch base with the senior management within the bank. But to a starter, I think it is very, very important that two things are very important in my view. One is the data security, right? I mean, essentially, as per our experience, what we have seen when we launched, first thing which we did is PCI DSS compliance, right, which is the payment card industry data storage standard. And then we did it before launching our product, and then subsequently we immediately went to have SOC 2 compliance, and then only we went back to banks and then told them about data security. So one thing banks are very, very cautious are around the data security, and the second one is obviously how innovative your product is and how it can bring more customer to the bank or solve problems of the customer for the bank. That is what all matters.
Wonderful. Coming back to the hustling, right? We entrepreneurs are those crazy beings who try to do everything even without the resources being there. That's kind of the hallmark. There was a hustling story that you told me today. How he's like Eklavya. And I think we have the gentleman from Fresh Cart here. How he was the primary reason why he learned the art of fundraising. Can you tell us that story, please?
Yes. So first of all, the startup, how I know about the startup and got to know about the startup in 2019 only, first time. Since I am working as a business from the college first year. So college first year में एक product बनाया, sold, did around 6,000 sales. Then again I started tech and media buying company in 2013. So worked till 2019. फिर पता चला कि स्टार्टअप नाम की भी कुछ चीज़ होती है, देन टेक कुछ होता है. तो एक और आई स्टार्ट से मेरे फ्रेंड है, तो ही फॉलोड मी फॉर कंटिन्यूस फॉर 12 मंथ्स क्या टेक बना लो. और मेरे को ये था क्या टेक होता क्या, मेरे को नहीं पता प्रैक्टिकली. देन फंड क्या होता है, फंड का नहीं पता था. देन कॉन्स्टेंटली एट द टाइम ऑफ कोविड एक्चुअली, सो राजेंद्र फाउंडर ऑफ फ्रेशो कार्ड, सो उनका था कि यार हम एक जगह बैठ के कुछ उनकी टीम थी कि यार आपके ऑफिस में बैठ के काम करते हैं. एंड उनका उस टाइम पे राउंड चल रहा था. So we discussed a lot about the DD due diligence. इसका भी नहीं पता था. टर्म शीट क्या होती है इसका भी नहीं पता था. वैल्यूएशन क्या होती है इसका तो बिल्कुल नहीं पता था. और डाइल्यूशन क्या होता है, कितना करना है फाउंडर्स में इक्विटी, सब बिल्कुल भी नहीं पता थे. तो उनके जितने चैलेंजेस आते थे हम चाय के टाइम पे 30 पे सब कुछ डिस्कस करते थे. एंड आई गॉट टू नो अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स अराउंड दिस, एंड दैट वाज काइंड ऑफ MBA फॉर मी अराउंड दिस फंड रेज एंड एवरीथिंग अबाउट द स्टार्टअप. तब से कॉन्फिडेंस आया था कि यस नाउ वी कैन डू, क्योंकि धंधा पहले से करना आता था. Startup we can build now.
Wonderful. Message for all of you young startups, stick yourself to someone else who's doing the thing. Bundi wo chal rahe the, laddu inhone banaya hai.
No, I just wanted to add my experience also, right? I mean, so we definitely wanted to do startup, right? And way back in 2012, 2013, right? And at that point in time, I was actually leading South Asia's business for MoneyGram. And then essentially, at that moment, when I decided to, move into a startup ecosystem, it was a very, very cozy job, right? I had a large cabin and all teams working out of, 2 offices, international travel and all of the stuff, right? Whatnot. But since I wanted to start on my own, I decided to, join a fintech startup, right? To get the real hustle. And that is what is very, very important, because, you know, joining a startup, getting an experience, and then the kind of hustling which is there on a daily basis, that teaches you a lot, and that actually helped us in building up our own startup.
Wonderful. Jitendra, this question to you again from some of the conversations we had. So Jitendra's father is a farmer. Okay, he's only a farmer in the morning. I would like to revise that statement. He's a farmer, which is a great thing. Okay, and his father, although he didn't understand his business, he now is like his regular advisor. How did the transformation happen? How did you make him understand what you do? क्योंकि मेरे माँ बाप आज भी नहीं समझते कि मैं करता क्या हूँ, right? So I'm sure a lot of you as entrepreneurs have that problem. So how did you make him understand what you do?
So first of all, yes, I am a proud son of poor farmer भी बोल सकते हैं, क्योंकि like जिनका family income is less than 1 lakh, yearly income is less than 1 lakh. So you can say उनको कुछ पता नहीं होगा, but yes, I am grateful to have those parents जिनको पता होता है कि like technology कैसे वर्क करती है, उनको पता है गूगल कैसे वर्क करता है, फेसबुक कैसे वर्क करता है, एंड लाइक दे ऑल्सो नो कि पेटीएम छोटा सा था उससे कितना बड़ा बन गया. सो दे ऑलवेज मोटिवेटिंग मी कि यार कंपनी को इतना बड़ा बनाना है कि यस. एंड अगेन द वन थिंग विच दे गिवन मी द विजन कि यार अपने यहाँ से निकल के और इतना बड़ा करना कि एवरीवन कैन सी दिस ड्रीम एंड कैन गेट द पॉसिबिलिटी कि यार इसने कर लिया तो यस आई कैन डू. तो दैट काइंड ऑफ, और उस टाइम पे इवन इतना एक्सेसिबल होना है कि कोई पूछे आपसे कि यार क्या लाइक मेरे को ऐसा करना है कि कैसा करना चाहिए, तो डेफिनेटली यू शुड गिव द टाइम कि यस कम आई विल टेल यू हाउ आई डिड. आप किसी को सिखा नहीं सकते कि तेरे को कैसे करना है, बट डेफिनेटली वी कैन टेल कि यार मैंने कैसा किया था. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ लाइक अपब्रिंगिंग गॉट फ्रॉम माय पेरेंट्स.
From a family with 100,000 annual income to someone who runs a company with 120 employees, profitable from day one, and who says investor को जाके तुमको देना है तो दो, नहीं देना तो जाओ. Wonderful. Some balls too, Jitendra. You've got balls, man. Okay. Back to you with that question that I asked you when I was doing the session, right? When you're doing something very innovative and new that the world has not seen, it's a big challenge to talk to investors and talk to customers, right? या तो उनको बिल्कुल उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं पता है, या फिर उनको लगता है कि सब कुछ पता है, ये एक और आ गया है. How do you handle that, Hemant?
भारी भारी और सीरियस क्वेश्चंस पूछे जा रहे हो मुझसे. And you are actually so yeah, I mean, we got this experience, especially into B2B space. So essentially, you know, when we started, as I said, that, you know, we were pioneers in this space, and a lot of innovation was already happened into consumer payment space, like, you know, how you pay via cards or UPI or QR code. It was kind of very, very difficult to explain it to investors. There were no data points which were available to investors to write their own thesis. Probably Mohit will also agree on that. You know, people actually struggled whether, you know, the space is actually going to go big or not. And by the way, I got to know that, you know, my deck in 2018 was there with Mohit, and Mohit actually told me that, you know, they saw our company and passed it because of lack of data points, right? And this happens usually, right? So the learning out of that was that, you know, since you are starting, one, you have to do your investors' work on behalf of investor, right? Essentially, you have to give them the kind of learning that can actually help them to bring those data points back to their IC. So that's one learning which is there. The second one is obviously, you know, you have to build marketing around what space you are operating in, give enough of knowledge to the market, and especially targeted towards investors.
Wonderful. During the day, I saw a few questions that are, you know, time and again coming back to correlating funding with startup. कि startup है तो funding होना ही है, right? Which I'm sure, looking at Jitendra, we would agree that he's a profitable company. So Jitendra, one, how do you know, separate both these things? And what kind of a confidence it gives to you when you are profitable, when you sit with an investor for discussion? And please note this, very important, because, you know, if you're profitable, वो तुमको ढूंढ के आएगा, not the other way around. And that's what I think Jitendra stands for, so, for me.
So फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जब एनी फाउंडर हु इज स्टार्टिंग द कंपनी तो उसको ये क्लियर होना बहुत जरूरी होता है कि यार कंपनी बनानी क्यों है. आप कोई कंपनी फाउंड कर रहे हो तो व्हाई यू आर बिल्डिंग दैट कंपनी, व्हाट इज द विजन टू बिल्ड दैट कंपनी और टू गेट द फंड. सो अभी भी एक लाइक एट द लंच टाइम समवन वाज आस्किंग कि यार ये फंड कैसे लेते हैं, कितना लेना है कैसे पता चलता है, किससे लेना है कैसे पता चलता है, वो देंगे कि नहीं देंगे कैसे पता चलता है. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड आवर बिजनेस कि भैया पैसा चाहिए भी कि या नहीं चाहिए. जैसे रियल इस्टेट, लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ रियल इस्टेट. तो सपोज अपने को एक फ्लैट लेना है, देयर इज एन अपार्टमेंट एंड सीधा क्लियरली समझ आ रहा है कि यस देयर इज ए नीड ऑफ अराउंड 50 लाख टू बाय दैट अपार्टमेंट एंड दिस अपार्टमेंट विल गिव 20-30% ऑफ रिटर्न इन नेक्स्ट 1 or 2 year. तो हमें समझ आ गया कि 50 लाख रुपए की जरूरत इसलिए है क्योंकि इससे 20-30% ऑफ रिटर्न्स वी विल गेट. ओन कंपनी ओन स्टार्टअप कि यार मेरे को पैसा इसलिए चाहिए क्योंकि यदि पैसा सपोज जस्ट आई गॉट अराउंड 10 करोड़ और 2 million और 3 million, तो आई विल ब्रिंग दिस कंपनी एट दिस लेवल वेयर आई कैन गिव 2x, 3x और 10x रिटर्न टू माई इन्वेस्टर. यदि आपको ये कैलकुलेशन समझ आ जाती है डेफिनेटली यू कैन गेट द फंड फ्रॉम योर इन्वेस्टर्स. दिस इज वन थिंग. सेकेंड थिंग, आप डेफिनेटली फंडामेंटली इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग टू बिल्ड ए लाइक लार्ज scalable and sustainable business. If you know about the fundamentals, if you are able to manage that fundamentals, आपको definitely that investor will get the confidence कि यार ये कंपनी है, ये बंदा है, मेरे को पक्का रिटर्न दे देगा and investor will come to invest in you definitely. And it happens with us, like हमने अभी तक जितना भी इन्वेस्टमेंट लिया है that is without chasing. हमने ज़्यादा चेज नहीं किया practically, but हमने हमेशा like जितना टाइम फंड में देना था, I always love to work on my fundamentals. I always love to understand the business model. जितने स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, like जितना टीम समझती है उससे पहले खुद से समझ के then we discuss कि यार ऐसे 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 होगा, तो definitely you can get that level of confidence. Investors तो उनका काम है पैसा बनाना, definitely they will come to make money with you.
Wonderful, wonderful lessons from a real hustler brother. Let's now go to the audience. Any questions? Anyone want a few? Raise your hands. Yes, sir.
This is not a question, it's actually a complaint because you guys have done a panel badgering in investors without taking an opinion. But thank you so much, Pradeep. I think the art of storytelling was good fun. My question to both of you, Hemant and Jitendra, is when you're building your businesses, what's your take on hiring people who are smarter than you? Are you guys open to it, or do you want to be the smartest people in your offices? How does it work?
So essentially, first part is that, always hire people smarter than you. I mean, that is our philosophy from day one. And when we, in fact, did our initial hires, those people were smarter than us, whether we are talking about business, technology or product. So, I mean, you get to learn something, right? I mean, you have certain vision for execution, but these smart folks actually come and teach you a lot, which is typically missing if you, take just a Haji kind of reportee with you.
So a follow-up question on that. So if we are hiring people smarter than us, why those smarter people are not building their own businesses?
So, I mean, कुछ फितरत का भी खेल रहता है, sir. I mean, very honestly, right? I mean, there are people who want to do entrepreneurship. There are people who are happy, creating something, right? Under the leadership. So, I think, it is a fine balance. Not all can become entrepreneurs. Not all, or probably, not all team members can become other way around as well. Right? So essentially, it's a mix of people. Otherwise, the company is selling in.
Vandan, let me answer that in a concrete way. Not everyone has. Yeah. Yes,
So I beg to differ here. I beg to differ, right? I mean, the reason here is, if, for example, for our case, right, when we started in 2018, right, we were not having any funds with us. And when we hired our initial 5 guys, team members, right, they trusted our capabilities. So they had the balls, right, to leave their cozy job and come with us. So essentially it's not that,
Okay, I rephrase. Not everyone has, many people have. Okay? And किसी का आधा यहाँ है, पता नहीं कहाँ रह गया.
And by the way, they were working with us without salary. That too.
Yes, sir. So, Jitendra?
So
Hello. Hi, Jitendra. Neeraj here. So I wanted to ask that you are helping people get financial products, right? So what is, as a company, what is your viewpoint towards these two developments? One is Open Credit Enablement Network, Open 3.0, rolling out slowly live, proving its concepts step by step along with the account aggregator ecosystem. And on a wider front, ONDC coming out with its financial services vertical, coming out with its specifications and protocols already. Open is already rolling out live, slowly gathering speed.
yeah. So
Do you see them as a threat, opportunity, or to be co-opted, maybe become providers for both, and like what?
for us, ONDC is the opportunity. But you will see we are integrating our tech system with ONDC to provide the products to public. So first of all, that is opportunity for us. And second thing, where we are playing, that is again different game. We are an enabler basically. We are helping to banks or these consumer tech platforms to bring their products, and as well as to consumers also. So we all know, like in India, there are more than 10,000 banks and NBFCs are available, or in every product categories, either any product you can take, there is more than 3,000-4,000 products are available for every category. As a normal person, as a human being, either वो IIT का होगा, IIM का होगा, वो किसी भी person का होगा, how that person can get the better products as per their requirement? People are confused. So we are helping in that manner.
So you are kind of assistants for the consumers. So will you become a buyer app for Open?
In the interest of time, I'll give this offline. You guys can discuss it offline.
You may become a buyer app for Open.
Yeah, definitely.
थोड़ा टेक्निकल जरा सा मेरे को भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, अगला सवाल कैसे पूछूं मैं, राइट? सो देयर आर सम यंग बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स फ्रॉम अ स्कूल हियर. तुम हाथ किस लिए लगा यार, बॉल के लिए या मेरे लिए, या सवाल पूछने के लिए? सवाल पूछने के लिए. और ये कौन है बे? ब्यूटीफुल एंड हैंडसम अंकल लिखा है बॉल पे. कौन है ये? कौन है ये? किसके लिए था? हम दिनों में से किसके लिए था? मतलब दर्द नहीं, ब्यूटीफुल और हैंडसम सुन के नहीं, वो अंकल बुलाया तब दर्द हुआ. यस सर, द जेंटलमैन इन व्हाइट. या
most of the businesses are running on credit basis, right? Credit trust पे चलता है. तो मुझे सवाल पूछना है कि आपके जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स है वो क्रेडिट ट्रस्ट को कैसे बेटर कर सकते हैं और लास्ट माइल को कैसे बेटर कर सकते हैं? मतलब बिल्कुल ऐसे
गिरे माइक ना क्या?
हाय. सो एक्चुअली आई वांट टू से कि जैसे आपको पता है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द बिजनेसेस आर रनिंग ऑन क्रेडिट बेसिस, ठीक है, और क्रेडिट ट्रस्ट पे चलता है. वो ऐसा भी नहीं है कि कोई प्लेटफॉर्म है उनके पास कि माल जाएगा और क्रेडिट 10-15 दिन बाद, महीने बाद आएगा. तो आपका जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स है वो लास्ट माइल पे कैसे हेल्प कर सकता है, या जो इकोसिस्टम है क्रेडिट वाला, क्रेडिट ट्रस्ट वाला, वो इंडिया में कैसे बिल्ड हो सकता है?
So I think there is two questions. पहला कि क्रेडिट कैसे मिल सकता है. So हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? So basically we are providing the platforms or the credit providers on a single platform. So you can get the eligible products as per your profile, and definitely you can compare the products also. क्योंकि आपको लेना कौन सा, again that you can take as per your choice. This is one thing. And second thing, the last mile side. So there is a trust is required to sell any financial products, because it's a matter of money, and money is most sensitive part of everyone. So we are helping in that side where like a customer can buy products after or with the trust. Like we have an agent network also on every pin code across the country. So like in last 2 years, like almost 4 million customers we acquired, and that is from every pin code across the country. This is a beauty where we are playing. Yeah.
Sir, last question to Hemant.
सर थैंक यू बोलूँगा जितेंद्र जी को. जो हम जैसे लोगों को इन्होंने एक नई उम्मीद दी है. मैं सुबह से आया हुआ हूँ. मेरे साथ में क्या, मैं 2014 से ट्राई कर रहा हूँ एक स्टार्टअप खड़ा करने की, और मैंने किया भी है. जहाँ तक मैं खुश हूँ, लगभग 5 ईयर का मेरा बिजनेस है, और उसको टेक्निकली मैं नहीं लेके आ पाया क्योंकि लैंग्वेज जो है ना मेरी हिंदी है, और हिंदी लैंग्वेज के साथ में हर जगह मैं मेरी फीलिंग्स नहीं बता सकता. तो जस्ट ये क्वेश्चन है, क्या हम अपनी भारतीय लैंग्वेज के साथ में एक बड़े लेवल का स्टार्टअप बना सकते हैं? आपकी थॉट्स क्या हो?
बिल्कुल बना सकते हो. सो लैंग्वेज इज लैंग्वेज ओनली.
थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट
नहीं,
चलिए ठीक है सर.
अपनी
Let me
बात
answer
समझा
let me
सकते
answer this from a Thai example. Sir, what's your name, sir?
DM उडीनवाल धर्मेंद्र यादव.
Dharmendra Yadav, right? Dharmendra, if you see Chinese companies, and I see them on pitches, okay, they come for investment pitches, typically they only speak in Mandarin and there's someone translating. क्योंकि जो दिल से आता है ना वो आपके लैंग्वेज से ही आता है. So language is never a barrier. Some of the biggest companies have all formed.
Thank you, sir.
Be proud of the fact that you speak in the
Because I am 8th class fail, but I will sure that I will create a unicorn company, sir.
Galat, you're 7th class pass, right? So one last question to my friend Hemant. Any last question? Yes, sir.
Hi. So I want to ask that in your startup days, as you mentioned, a pitch deck you didn't know, but it is a mandatory thing for investment. So did you make the pitch deck by yourself, or did you hire a third-party agency for making a pitch deck, or how did it go about in the initial days?
There's a nice company called Prezantim. They make wonderful pitch deck. I'll tell you about them.
You should
But
answer
initially,
that.
I'm asking initially how it.
It's a conflict of interest if I answer, so you talk.
No, I think, for me, the pitch deck was kind of not important at that moment of time, right? Our struggle was more towards, the awareness part and giving that kind of understanding. I believe we created our first pitch deck, 4 slides, written everything about, what we are trying to do. That's it. And we usually, our majority of conversations were happening around our space and giving them the right kind of understanding to the investors, right? Not about the business model and the revenue, but about the ecosystem. So that was probably our space was exception. But having said so, I think, pitch deck and the storytelling is very, very important for any startup.
Wonderful. Prezantim, you know the name. Why don't you gentlemen come here? And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the, what do you call that? The sons of the soil, right? Hindi hai, hum watan hai, Hindu Sata. Right? So, the sons of the soil, your own boys from your own city. And I'm sure if you look at them, you can also make big companies. Your city doesn't matter, your background doesn't matter. All that matters is what's lying around there. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Wonderful talking to both of you.